Hi Charmers, welcome back to my channel. It's Steph and today I'm going to be showing you guys a tutorial on this perfect fall look using Vasanti Cosmetics, and this is just kind of a go-to look for me. It's a very simple, warm eye with lots of lashes, some wing liner, and then all of the focus is on this dark vampy lip. This is a perfect fall look, so if you'd like to see how to get it, then just go ahead and keep on watching. So to get started, I'm just giving my skin a nice base with my foundation, and I'm using the Vasanti foundation brush. This was actually the feature item in the BoxyCharm this month, so I'm just applying small sections and then I also buff it out with that same brush. And usually I don't use a flat foundation brush, but I really enjoyed this one. So like I said, I am working in smaller sections, so I just kind of paint on my foundation, and then I will blend it away, and it does give me a nice seamless finish. To save some time, I went ahead and did my concealer off camera. You guys have seen me do that a million times. So now I am just warming up my skin because I need it so badly, and I'm just using a small kind of domed brush and going around my temples and the hollows of my cheeks, and I'm not really contouring with this shade. I'm just giving my skin some life and making it nice and bronzy. I also took a little bit of that bronzer around my chin and my jawline, and the only thing I'm going to be contouring today is my nose because I just kind of can't go without it anymore. So I'm taking this small brush and that same bronzer and just contouring my nose, and then I go back in with this big fluffy tulip brush and just kind of buff away those lines so they aren't so harsh. And then for my eyes, I am using that same bronzer as well as my transition shade to go in with first. So I'm just taking a big fluffy brush, the same bronzer, and adding a little bit of warmth into the crease. For the rest of the shadows, I'm using this Manhattan 24/7 eye color palette from Vasanti. I'm first going in with this rich brown shade and that same fluffy brush that I started out with. And this is just going to give my eyes a little bit more definition, so I'm just going from that outer corner and buffing in small circular motions towards the inner corner. I wanted just a little bit more definition and depth on that outer corner, so I just picked up a little bit more of that same shade and added that right to the outer third of the eye and then blended that up into the crease. And then for even more definition, I'm going in with this shade. This is called Deep Brown Mahogany, and a smaller blending brush, and I'm literally taking this right on that outer corner, and then I also take whatever's left on my brush once I deposit it on that outer corner up into the crease, but I'm definitely keeping most of the color on that outer corner. How many times can I say outer corner? For the lids, I'm using this peach gold shimmer shade, and I'm applying that all over the lids with a flat shader brush, and I think this color just brings everything together and makes it look so beautiful for fall time. So I'm just applying that all over the lid and even going over the outer corner, but I wanted a little bit more definition. I kind of lost some whenever I applied the lid color, so I just applied a little bit more of that deep brown mahogany right to that outer corner again. When the eyes are simple like this, it definitely calls for winged liner. So I'm using the Vasanti liquid liner, and I'm just doing, my basic wing, just extending out my lash line a little bit further and then connecting it all together. And I really like the applicator on this one. It reminds me a lot of my favorite eyeliner that I use all the time. It has that nice tiny little brush so you can get a nice flick. And then I'm going in with a little bit of mascara right before I put on some falsies. This mascara is also from Vasanti. This is our Eye Smile Mascara in Intense Black, and you won't be able to tell on my upper lashes, but it made my lower lashes so long. So I applied my Ardell Double Wispies. These are perfect for this look. Then I'm going to finish up my lower lash line, so I went in with that first shade that we used, the rich brown, and I took that all the way from outer corner to inner corner with a nice pencil brush. Then I went back in with that deep brown mahogany, and I'm only applying this to the outer corner of my eye. Now add some mascara to your lower lashes. You guys know I have to do this off camera because I have to be so close to my mirror. And then I'm taking this champagne shade and I'm highlighting the inner corners of my eyes to make them look brighter and more awake. Then I also took it along my brow bone, and I also always start at the arch of my eyebrow and then I just blend that down. And of course, I always apply just a tiny bit to the tip of my nose. It just makes it look a little bit more turned up. And then I'm taking this Rockies blush from Vasanti as well, and a duo fiber brush. And you can see I tapped it off so it wouldn't be too bright. I wanted it to be more bronzy for this look. So I'm just applying that mainly on the apples of my cheeks to give me a nice flush. Now that I have the blush on, I'm going back in with that small tulip brush and I just blended everything so it doesn't look too harsh. And then I'm also taking a small tapered highlighter brush and I use that same champagne shade that I highlighted my eyes with. I just brushed that along the tops of my cheekbones, and I am going in with a dark lip. And when I do a dark lip, I always have to line my lips. So I'm taking this dark Plum lip liner and I'm outlining my lips. Then I also just fill in the corners a little bit. I feel like lining your lips is such a necessity when you're doing a dark lip. It helps everything just stay in place and it makes it last longer. So I'm just filling in the corners of my bottom lip and also the corners of my top lip. And once your lips are lined, it's time for the star of the show, and it is this lipstick from Vasanti in the shade Drunken Love. It is such a beautiful dark wine shade, and once you get that on, your look is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this fall tutorial. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you did, and make sure to subscribe for more beauty tips and how-tos from BoxyCharm and charmers like you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!